Hey guys, Tish here from Black Sheep Finance, and I think you may be wondering why the title is How to Find a Shit Property Manager. Obviously everyone wants to find a good property manager. Unfortunately it's not that easy. With anything in professional services, often you don't know someone's good at their job until they're really tested at their job. So if you ask around friends, hey, do you know a good property manager? They're probably going to refer you to theirs, but have they had any issues? If they've got a good tenant and there's never been any issues, it doesn't make them a good property manager. It just means you have a good tenant and you're lucky. Sometimes you've been unlucky. I've recently been unlucky twice. I've got two small stories for you. First story, this is actually the same property this issue has occurred on. So the first issue I was with Wilson Real Estate. Now, I got to know this business owner quite well. I even did some dry cleaning for him, so I thought we were on a good level. He had a good staff member initially, and a good property manager is the individual. It has nothing to do with the business. Someone's role is to look after your property, and whether they're good at their job or not determines basically whether you're going to have a good property manager. So this particular person, when I first joined up, was brilliant. They ended up leaving, someone else came on board, handled the property, and was new to property management, didn't have a clue what she was doing, and just basically stuffed everything up. So after going back and forth with the business owner, he finally got rid of her because eventually he realised that she was crap at her job, got someone else in, and it was only when you get a bad tenant that either doesn't pay or complains or has issues that you really find out if someone's good at their job or not. So I had lots and lots of issues with this particular tenant, and the communication just was terrible. It got to a point where I think I was about $2,000, $2,200 behind in rent, and I was screaming at these guys going, what is going on? You need to keep me informed. And it just wasn't happening. The communication level was disgusting. They got back to me, weeks after the email. So I ended up having to call the owner because I knew him. And unfortunately for him, which is why I mentioned his business, is he just stuck his head in the sand. There's lots of reasons why things happen, and I think it's always courtesy to pull someone up on that. And as a business owner, sometimes you don't know if shit's happening. And you sometimes get confronted with these customer complaints going, how did that happen? I wasn't aware of that. I'm so sorry, and try and fix it. So I like to do the same thing in reverse. When I'm the customer, I understand that maybe the business owner isn't aware that these problems are happening because they're not even aware that their staff member's not doing their job properly. So I always like to, talk to the business owner first and go, hey, this is what's happening. What can you do to help me? Rather than, getting angry straight away and threatening them. If you threaten people, they're never going to help you out. Anyway, so in this case, he stuck his head in the sand, and they actually wrote me an email, which I have in writing, saying, the tenants left the property, we're not going to help you, like literally in writing, we're not going to help you recover the bond, you're on your own. And I was outraged. So I sent this email to a friend of mine who I hope to get on another live video, who's owns a property management company, and she's like, that's bullshit. A property manager has a duty of care to follow up the bond of that tenancy that they were managing. So had lots and lots of issues. They ended up actually getting the bond back for me, but it took like almost 2 months, and I ended up having to find another property manager. So I was met with that same question people ask, how do I find a good property manager? So at the time, my brother was actually purchasing an investment property, and it takes a lot to impress me. I have really, really high standards, and I don't refer easily, and it takes a lot to impress me. And this agent, he was the principal of the business, and normally the business owners are better. And I was so impressed with his service. I was like, hey, do you do property management? Because, I'm really impressed with how you handle. And my brother was buying, so he wasn't selling. So normally you expect an agent to be good when they're selling your property, but he was brilliant to the buyer's end. So I said, do you have any property management services? So he got me all set up, jumped on it straight away. He's from Harris Real Estate in Prospect, and so I got a new tenant in, all good for about, maybe it's been just over a year, and this tenant all of a sudden stopped paying. So I had a similar issue where I wasn't even told about it, and again, it was an issue of staff. So I got to, so my connection's weak, I don't know why. Hopefully you can see this. So I had this issue where my tenant wasn't paying and I wasn't told and I hadn't received rent for 6 weeks. So I sent an email going, what the hell is going on? Turns out they sent me an email, but they sent it to the wrong place, so I didn't get it. So, again, nothing was being done. I don't know what happened. So, again, I contacted the owner of the business, who I originally approached a year ago, and said, hey, Peter, what the hell's going on? I'm really upset. Can you jump on this? And he did. And that is credit to him, and I actually had a phone call with him yesterday, and I thanked him because, you know, you have a choice. When shit is happening with your customers, you can either put your head in the sand, like my other property manager did, or you can step up and get onto it. And that's what this guy did, and I was really, really pleased. So then I'm taking my tenant to the tribunal on Monday, and he claimed that he stopped paying rent because there were maintenance issues, of which the curtains didn't close properly. A load of crap, basically. So the tribunal saw through his bullshit and said, look, just pay. So he, as per the agreement, paid a lump sum yesterday, which cleared. So this story is obviously really currently relevant right now. And he's now set to make extra payments. And I got all the follow-up calls, and this company really stepped up with their communication. And that's what it comes down to with any professional services. It's how well they communicate with you. If you raise issues and they don't get addressed, raise them again, contact the business owner and go, hey, I'm not sure you're aware of this, but your staff member's not doing the right job. This is the situation I'm in. If they don't step up again, then take it further. There are services out there you can go to. Unfortunately, when you're a landlord, most of the time, you're on the back foot because it's always about protecting the tenant, which is really, really painful. And frustrating because you're trying to get ahead, and when someone's been an asshole and doesn't pay their rent because the curtain doesn't close and puts you $2,000 in the red, that's not fun. But unfortunately, sometimes that's what you have to deal with when you own multiple properties. So, how to find a good property manager? Ask your friends, not is your property manager good, but have you got someone that you've had issues with, and how well do they handle those issues? Because that's what you want in a property manager. If shit hits the fan, are they going to step up? And that's what you need in anyone who delivers professional services. It's not necessarily, oh, can you cope with, the easy stuff. It's, can you cope with the hard stuff? Are you want to take people to court? Are you going to follow through? Are you going to get these maintenance issues sorted? How are you going to step up? So that's in summary of really what to look for. I might do a live cross with my friend who owns a property management agency in Melbourne just to get some more legal stuff for you guys. If you've got any questions, post them below, and have a great night. Thanks, guys.